Hi there. In this episode, we pick up where we left last time, where I was just having issues with our countersinker. Let's see how it goes. Well, after the debacle of the countersinking, I guess we will go ahead and try to rivet this together. I think before I get too carried away doing this for reals, I'm going to practice with some additional aluminum stock and see if there's a better way of doing it, because I said this did not really turn out very satisfactorily, so I need to figure it out. So for the time being, what we're going to do is we're going to just click all the stuff together. So these are eighths. A bag here. And we'll just get a few on here to hold everything nice and tight. Oops. And we'll put a couple in the middle just for fun. Make sure everything is all nice and perfectly lined up. Okay, so that's that. My thoughts are that we'll most likely, before we put this plate on here, we'll get these rivets set. So that way we don't have to reach past this plate here. This thing has about a 3-inch reach, so it's still, yeah, it'd be tough. It would be tough for sure. And since the RV-12 kit, airplane kit that I bought does not really need driven rivets, I'm just not going to kind of kill myself trying to figure it out. So I figured that's a skill I'll learn some other time. So I'll get everything set up so we can start riveting this together. So I think what we're going to do first is we are going to do the round-headed rivets. Or actually, you know what we could do is do the pop rivets first. That might be the easiest thing to do, since that doesn't require anything too special other than just getting the gun out and put it in. And so we'll do these 2 pop rivets first. So we'll take this Clico out, I think. And yeah, that should be enough to hold everything together. And then we'll come back and do the driven ones. So let me get the pop rivet gun set up, and we'll be right back. So these 2 rivets, according to the instructions, are the MSP-42. So I just got to go through my little bags here and see if I can figure which one of this it's MSP-42 over here, which is great since we only have 2 rivets, and that's all we need. This is also the bag that has the round-headed rivets on it. Grab that, and then what we'll have to do is figure out which one of these heads on my rivet gun is going to be appropriate. The one that's on there right now seems a little on the big side. So let me get this changed out, and then we'll get this sorted. So we've got the heads at the bottom, looks like. That's too small. This looks like the just right one. Double check one more time. Perfect. Okay, so we take this one off. We'll swap them out. Okay. We can put this back to where the other one was at, so we don't lose it. Put the tool back where it belongs, so I don't lose it. Put the battery back in. And stick the rivet in. And first time using this, so we'll see how it works. All the way down, hit the button. Yeah, not bad at all. So we'll stick the other one in. Well, no fuss, no muss. Pretty easy. The only thing about this though, it's definitely got a little bit of heft to it. I'm not sure how much heft the pneumatic ones are, but this is definitely a little on the hefty side. So, okay, so that's that. Good, good. So the next step will be to, ooh, boy, this thing popped out. That's interesting. You know what, I wonder is because most likely these holes got drilled a little bit too big due to the countersinking operation that I did. So most likely this is going to be not great, but that's fine. Again, this is a test, so luckily this won't get used for anything in the future. So, okay, so let me get the squeezer set up and then we'll put the rest of the rivets in and we'll go from there. Awesome. So I have the little dies put in on the squeezer. I've got my handy dandy chart that came with a squeezer that says for 1/8 inch diameter rivet, and it's a number 4, that the gap should be 1/8 of an inch. So looks like we've got a ways to go here. Tighten it up. This is a good starting point, is basically what it is. That looks like it might be the trick. I did get some handy dandy measuring gauges here, so we can figure out that we have the right depth set. So let's see how that works. I suspect, I said, we're gonna have a bit of a problem with the ones that I countersunk. As you can tell, even the clecos aren't wanting to really hold it in place, so we'll have to figure that out. Okay, so this is 1/8 inch rivet. That would be what we're looking for. And so that'll give us a guide to see if we're in the running or not. So I think what we might try to do is see if we can get this cleco in something that actually will hold it down. I don't think that hole didn't do really very well. That hole did better. Awesome. So I think I'm just going to basically put one in here first and see how it works. How bad could it be, right? So we'll put the rivet in. And we'll get the squeezer, the right angle, put that on the top. We'll kind of get it set and squeeze. Yeah, as you can tell, this thing is not actually doing very well at all. Okay, so we said 1/8 inch rivet. It's still got a ways to go in the smashing department. That is very loose. So we will tighten it up a couple notches. Give it another whirl. Make sure we're pointing in the right direction. And now let's check it. Nope, still not 100%. So a couple more. Let's see how that works. Back to where it was before. Put on the head. Oops, that actually went sideways. That's very interesting. I think it went sideways because of the The fact that the rivet was not in there 100%, so interesting. Okay, well that was not good. Oops. Okay, there will be, I'm assuming, a way to figure out how to do this. This may be one of the things where we use the rivet drilling. So we'll be right back with this guy right here and see what we can do to fix him. So good news, bad news. This is pretty well not in good shape, but it'll be a good opportunity to use the rivet removal tool that I bought. So get a little practice using that. Let's try another one and see if we can maybe not mess it up as bad. So we'll get the guy right next to it. And see how it goes. Okay, we might have an air pressure issue, which we don't, so I'm not sure why this thing is not setting. We'll try it again. Oh, that might be too long. Well, that's the right one. Another mystery. So it's got something to do with the stroke on the squeezer because it's not squeezing it. So I think this adjusted a little out of whack. Let me see what's going on here because it looks like we got a little out of whack with our adjustment. So let's give this another whirl. So interesting enough, the head is going sideways, so I'm not sure why, if that's a function again of the fact that the hole's been elongated too much, so which it definitely could be. So looks like it should be a smidge more than that. Again, well, this is definitely the place to screw up, that's for sure. Try that again. Still could be a little bit more. Okay, so this is, we'll do these over here temporarily, and then we'll go ahead and take the other clecos out. Let's see if these go any better or not. Hopefully they will. But as I said, I suspect the fact that the holes got drilled out too much has a little bit to do with it. So these, on the other hand, are pretty firm. So let's have a look how this works out. Okay. The part I'm not happy about is that the squeezer tool is kind of working off to the side a little bit. It kind of, as it comes up, it goes a little bit on the sideways side. I'm not sure what is up with that. So we'll just double check that. Okay, well, let's finish this up. And then we will drill that other rivet out. Looks like we have one more and one more. So we'll get a couple more of these guys out. And we'll set up our other, we'll set up for the other kind of flush rivets. So I think we can take this one out too. I'm thinking that if this was the aircraft, I would be throwing this piece away at this point in time. And interesting enough, we're having a little bit of a throw problem here. See, and then the gun goes sideways. And then it gets kind of jacked up in the back. So yeah, it's very interesting how this thing works. It means it's not the easiest. Because this rivet got kind of jacked up at the bottom too. It's kind of off to the side, so there has to be a better way of doing this. I think these round-headed rivets are a little tougher to keep absolutely perpendicular. So, and I think that's what's happening, is that as it squeezes, unless of course, which I don't think so, I have the wrong size head on it, which again, I don't think so. Yeah, so the big question is what is going on with that, right? The other interesting thing is why is it not throwing all the way? Okay, so we'll try this. And again, this also went in at a weird angle, so I'm not 100% certain what's causing that. Yeah, so very interesting how that works. So, not my best work, I would have to say. Okay, well, we can at least get the flush rivets put in and call this nonsense a day. So we have 2 of them to put in. Go ahead and get these off. Actually, this one stays. We'll disconnect before I do a number of my fingers. So yeah, it's very interesting how that worked out. So I'm not sure 100% why that went at such a weird angle. So it's kind of odd. We'll just put the squeezer back on. And these are these rivets are 3 3s. So the -3, nope, these are 4 4s. 4 4s. So back to an 1/8 gap. Let's make sure we hook up the okie doke. Well, that was not a good start with the round-headed rivets. Let's see if I have any better luck with the flat-headed rivets. So these are 4 4s right here in this little bag right here. So this has, yes, AN 426 AD 4-4. Okay. Again, a little disappointed that, but if you're gonna make a mistake, this is the place to make the mistake. So we'll give it a go here. We'll get this adjusted back to an 1/8. So it's a little much right now. So we'll see where we're at. Okay, that looks like an 1/8. So let's see if this thing goes any better. One can only hope. I'm sure doing it out in in space here does not help. So maybe if I oh, at least that one went okay, but oh, this one, the problem with this one is that it popped. No way, look at that. So it looks like we'll be drilling a couple of rivets out because this one did not set in correctly. And I wonder if because it did not have it clecoed properly. Yeah, that did not turn out as nice as I thought it was going to turn out. That's for sure. And it's just interesting what caused it to go south. Seems rather silly, really. So, all in all, looks like crap. So this is the rivet removal tool that I got from Cleveland Aircraft. Very similar to a countersinker, with regards that you put a drill inside here. There's a head that fits the appropriate rivet size. And when you basically push down, it pushes the drill down. They are a total of 4 drill bits and 4 different heads. This one's already attached. So you just basically select the drill bit size based on the head that you have. And go from there. So I believe the one that's on here actually fits already. So that is the closest one. This one here I believe is way too small. And the next size up from that I believe is way too big as it moves around. So the trick to this is that this comes apart up here. And we will put the second drill size. Oops, we should put the second drill size in. Okay. Everything's on there, the spring's on there. Put this in here. Tighten this up. Then you can see as this pushes down, the drill comes out. So now, my understanding is what we want to do is we don't necessarily want to drill the hole all the way through. What we want to do is we want to be able to drill the top off of it and just a little bit, and then we can use a number 30 drill bit to finish it up. So let's get this checked up on the drill and go from there. Although actually, prior to checking up to the drill, let's go ahead and make sure we have this at the right depth. So right now, it's poking out quite a bit, so we can come in here and adjust it up. Let's see where we end up here. So that would, I would say, a little bit more. It can't be much more because ultimately, yeah, so that looks like maybe it would work. So there it goes. Okay. We will get that drill bit checked up and see exactly how this works. So I've got it all checked up. My understanding is this is a low speed operation. You don't want to get too fast, so that's why we're using this drill. And put it over the head and hold on to this. And yep, looks like it's doing something. Okay, so that might not be the correct depth. Looks like I may not have it 100% centered either. Some of the usual troubles I have is drilling a perpendicular hole. So maybe this might be better off being done on the table, on the drill press. Fortunately, at this point in time, I think I've pretty well committed. So let's see how much we have here. Okay, yeah, so it looks like we need to go a little bit deeper. So I'm going to adjust the nozzle here. And that might actually get us to where we want to go. So let's give it a whirl again. So I have a punch in here and just trying to break the head off, and looks like that was enough to do the trick here. So next steps really would be to get the number 30 drill and get the rest of that rivet. They do recommend you give it a, oops, I guess no need. That's out of there. Awesome. So yeah, that works pretty nicely. So didn't really do a number in the hole, so it looks like we should be able to come back and re-rivet that. Then the next trick will be to get the flush rivet out. So after looking at this, interesting enough, since the head of this rivet's popped up already, I think I'm just going to use the same rivet removal tool in this, since it's the same diameter, and we'll see how that works. I mean, that might be the easiest way to do things. The other option would be to somehow pop the rivet out from this end where it does not fully seat. But I'm thinking it might be better to go just get this head to go out first, and then maybe we can kind of give it a little bit of a whack with a drift pin. So let's see if we can get this head off. Okay, clear the yuck. Looks like we're gonna go a little bit more. see what happens here. Okay, so that pretty much took the head off of that. Now the big trick is how we're going to get it out. So, and I'm thinking we can drill it out, or we can see if maybe just a tap here with a hammer would do the trick. Since we are on a pretty decent piece of aluminum angle iron. So we'll just give it a quick little tap, see how it works. If it doesn't kind of pop out, we'll drill it some more. And that did the trick. Okay, so we are now back in a position where we could try re-riveting this and re-riveting this. So it wasn't too painful, and I don't believe this really did a number on anything. So I think we're in pretty good shape. So okay, awesome, that's great. So here's the finished product. One side looks pretty decent over here. You don't see a whole lot of marks of the actual dimpler. This side didn't turn out as hot, but obviously we had a few issues. Do believe that the biggest issue was the fact that the holes on the angle iron ended up being enlarged, and it caused issues with riveting. Also, one thing I did learn is that you definitely, and we most likely can't see it, but there's a little bit of a gap on this rivet. So you definitely have to make sure that the rivet gun is pointing straight down when you pull the trigger. Other than that, it's been a great learning experience, and I will be doing the next one here sometime in the near future. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe down below and give me a big thumbs up. That'd be really awesome. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. If you like this video, hit subscribe and give us a big like down below. Thanks for watching.